For the rocket body tube, you'll need a roll of tape, masking tape, a roll of tape, adhesive back tape, a wet sponge, paper template, a rocket body tube template, and a tape template. Goes with this. You also need a piece of scrap paper. With your scrap paper and the paper template, take and mark off on the side of the paper that does not have holes. Don't use the side that has holes. Then take your scissors and cut the paper. Leave the line, don't cut the line off. And then you're going to wrap paper around the body tube. At this point here, you should have cut 3 pieces of masking tape, and those pieces of masking tape should be no more than 1 inch long. More is not better. Line up the paper at the top of the tube, press the tape down, and then pull the tape. And you should have about 1/8 of an inch overlap, as hopefully you can see right here. Second piece of tape is going to go somewhere in the middle, and you want to try to avoid getting any wrinkles in the paper that you're putting on the tube. And the reason for the paper on the tube is so that the tape, that's this colored stuff with the adhesive on the back side, does not stick to the tube. So this should be able to slide in and out. Don't take it out yet. The next step is going to be laying out the tape template, that's this teal template, on the colored tape. The key here is that you need 2 pieces of tape, and what you'll need to do is you'll need to flip over the template for your second piece of tape. And when you're done, you'll have this piece over here, that'll go into the scrap, and you should end up, everyone should end up with that triangle like that. And that also goes into the scrap. Take your scissors and cut. Your 2 pieces of tape should go together like this, so that you have one going to the left, one going to the right. If they're both going in the same direction, then you forgot to flip the template over. Okay, so remember, when you trace the first side, do that, and then flip the template over. So again, it should look like that. And this is how they'll go onto your rocket body tube. Come and see me to figure out which piece of tape to put on first. And it does matter which one you put on first. I'm going to put this piece of tape on first. And after I wet the adhesive, it's going to go on just like that. Make sure the sponge is not dripping wet. And you do not want to rub on this adhesive too much, because you will rub the adhesive off. If the tape is not wet enough, it'll dry before you're able to put it on your rocket body tube. So end of tape, end of tube, and you want to put that on as accurately as you can. And I'm right-handed, so my hand is going to be on the tube there, and my other hand is at the bottom of the tube twisting the tube, and my hand is going to follow the tape down to the bottom of the tube. And you notice that the tape didn't quite make it all the way down here. That's fine. And it all depends again on how you start up here, and you can see I was a little bit off right there. If your tape is going to extend beyond the piece of paper, just push the tube in and keep winding the tape, and it'll come off the tube a little bit. Okay. Do the same thing with your second piece of tape, and my second piece of tape is going to go on now in the opposite direction. and it'll go like that. I'll put the piece of tape on, and then we'll move to the next section. I changed my mind. Since I realized that this piece of tape is going to come onto the plastic, what you do if this happens is push the tube out of the way and continue wrapping. Like that. Okay, if you put that piece of tape onto the tube, the tape will stick to the tube, and then we may not be able to get the tube out. If you want to do a barber shop type stripe, choose a different color than what your rocket is. Use this template, trace up another section like this. When you're done with these templates, please put them back in the tray so someone else can use them. And then take a ruler and whatever width stripe you want, and use an X-Acto knife to cut that. After you've cut out your stripe, you're going to start with this cut angle on the tape, and you're going to put it right at the top of the tube. So it'll go like that. Wet the tape. And then start at the top of the tube. And the same way as you put the other, the same way as I put my red piece of tape on, I'm going to twist with my right hand since I'm right-handed and press down the tape. In this case, here's the white piece of tape. Slide the tube out of the way because I don't want to stick this white tape to the tube. And there's my stripe. I did use way too much water. If you want to put any other shapes on, like I pre-cut the star here, cut it out. Like that. Put that anywhere you want. I do want you to have two colors on your rocket. One of the colors will be the solid color that you chose. The second might be a stripe, it might be a star, it might be a moon. You can really put anything on here as long as it is appropriate for school. The last thing you're going to do is print your last name, and if you use dark blue, what I want you to do is use a light color for a stripe and print your last name on the stripe. So print your last name really big, and period and day. So I'm just going to put 1B on here, but you're going to put whatever your last name is, whatever your period and day is. Let this dry for 10 minutes or so. Slide the tube out, put the tube back, plastic tube back into the holder, and then you can score this and get this handed in. I'll go on to rocket engine holder next, and we'll continue on from there.